Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday and welcome to Ask Deb. It is fabulous to see you guys this morning. You know, my name is Deb Erickson. If you don't know who I am a business mindset coach. People always ask me, why do you do what you do? And today's Ask Deb is going to explain to you exactly why this is so critical. Mindset work is absolutely the most critical work that you can ever do on yourself as a woman. And so we're going to have a lot of fun together today, looking at personal development and skill development and talking about specifically what's the best ratio of mindset training and skill set training to get yourself to the place where you can apply what you're learning to your business. So welcome to this podcast. Well, actually, I'm sorry for this live broadcast. I'm excited today to be really looking at this specific issue that overwhelms so many women in our industry, because what they do is they're learning, but they aren't necessarily applying, and they're frustrated because they're not growing their business. If that's you, or if that's somebody on your team that is they're either resisting learning and growing, or they're into learning and growing, but they're not applying and they're not getting the results that they really want to get in their business, this is the podcast to share. I'm sorry, I keep saying podcast. It's really just a live. All right. So share this live, tag somebody in it that will help you really get out this understanding of learning and applying and the best ratio and how we're going to connect the dots and really support our teams in growing and developing in a way that allows you to create the business, the network marketing business that you truly desire. All right, so let's jump in. First of all, let me just talk for a minute about, I'm going to help you with a frame of reference. So if you were going to become a nurse or a teacher, what would you do? You would go back to school, right? You would get some education. Then you would go do a practicum, right? Where you apply the knowledge that you have learned. And then you take a test and you get your license. And then once you get your license, then you can go get employed by someone, right? You can get employed by a hospital if you're a nurse. You can get employed by a school district if you're a teacher. Now, you may still be bad at your job, but you're employed, which means someone is giving you a salary because you went through the training, you went through the practicum, right, to practice what you're learning, the student teaching or the practical, and then you passed a test. So when you are employed, it's really up to the employer or your boss whether or not you're really doing your job effectively. But when you're self-employed, right, then it's up to you. In other words, here's the key. Let's take something similar. Let's say you want to go into real estate. Well, you take all the classes, the real estate classes, right? You'd work with a mentor to kind of help apply what you're learning. You take the test and get certified, get your license, and then you get out into the world. Now, the difference is if you suck at your job, you don't get paid. Because nobody's employing you. Nobody's giving you a paycheck. It's you. It's on you. You're self-employed. And so the difference between traditional employment and being self-employed is that nobody's deciding that you're employable except the marketplace. The marketplace is saying, do you add value? And what's really interesting is that your income potential is really controlled only by how good you are at applying the knowledge you've learned in your chosen industry or profession. Well, guess what? Network marketing is no different, right? It is no different. In fact, it's actually a little tougher because nobody forces you to take classes. Nobody forces you to do a practicum and to pass a test. We just kind of throw everybody out there and say, we're going to learn on the job. And so if you're learning on the job, what typically occurs is that more people, because they don't know intuitively how to learn it and apply it, they come to this industry, they try it, and they fail. and then they label themselves a failure and walk away from the industry. Now, I kind of blame our school systems for this. I got to be honest, right? I was a teacher, so I'm just going to tell you, I blame how we teach kids to learn, because we don't really use a learning cycle that guarantees mastery. What we do as teachers, because we only have so much time to teach so much content, is we shove content at kids, right? And then we quiz them, we give them a little bit of feedback, and then we test them and we give them a label. And once they have that label, we move on. So you're a B student, you're a C student, you're an A student, you got it, you didn't get it. But we don't teach to mastery. We don't say we're going to stay with this skill until we get all the way to 100% mastery, because we have a wide range of kids, we have a limited time, we have limited resources. I get it. But unfortunately, what we've done is we've programmed people's minds to believe that you learn a little, make an attempt, you get a label, and move on. And I'm here to tell you that will never get you to the success in our industry that you're looking for. So let's talk about our profession, because here's what it requires. It's a tremendous amount of information. You know that. That's why you're here today, because you're like, Deb, there is so much to learn. And you're right. There's specialized knowledge that is about the product and the company and the industry. Right? And then there's specific business skill set training. You have to know marketing skills, how to do lead generation and lead qualification and lead closing and lead nurturing. And then you have to learn social media skills, how to communicate, how to influence, how to build relationships. And then you have to learn one-on-one, face-to-face skills, how to interact, how to start conversations, how to turn the conversation, how to close a sale. You got to learn sales skills, right? So you can actually move a product. You got to learn recruiting skills so that you can recruit a sales force, right? You have to learn how to train and develop and mentor people, how to duplicate your efforts, how to lead effectively. Are you exhausted? You should be. There is so much to learn. And what's happened is we've shortcut our systems. And so what happens is people look at something, they give it a shot, they learn a little bit, they don't really learn how to apply it, and then they move on. So there are holes in our understanding. We don't come into this industry with an expectation that this is a journey. If it takes 4 years to get an education to be a teacher, I guarantee you this is going to take longer, right? So you should be anticipating investing 5 to 10 years in becoming a master at entrepreneurship, a master at the career of this industry. You guys get it? But what's really important is to understand the learning process. And here's what it is. The first step in the process is that you have to learn cognitively what it is you have to do. And so what it is kind of like the steps. And then you've got to learn to drill down and get specific. So what are the strategies? What are the specific skills? What are the tactics to apply the what? So you got to learn what and how. What and how. That's cognitive. You guys get it? So this is what you are learning in your head. This is what you are getting wise, and you're learning the big concepts. But here's the problem, is that the piece that's missing is your ability to take what you're learning cognitively and apply it in the real world. Now, why? Why is that a missing piece? Well, here it is. Bottom line is, if you are risk adverse, in other words, risking failure scares you, you won't apply. You'll learn it in your head and you'll keep it safe by being a great student, learning, and never applying, because when you apply, you are risking failure. Now, if you are risk tolerant, you understand that the only way that you're ever going to get good at anything is to try and fail. risk and fail, right? And so you risk and you fail, which is really just about you get a result, and then you evaluate that result, and then you tweak your strategy and you try again. See, someone who is risk tolerant understands that it could take months or years to master a skill. And they are willing to do what it takes. They're willing to fail. They're willing to risk. They're willing to tweak. They're willing to go through that process. They're tolerant of the learning cycle where risk is involved. And so let me ask you this. Well, let me actually tell you, I'm going to give you a phrase I want you to write down, because this is going to be something you must embrace as a woman, because it is not our natural programming and socialization. We are socialized to be perfect. We are socialized to fit in. We are socialized to recognize and support and create this connection, right? And we need to do that in understanding emotional awareness of everyone else. So we're cognizant of what people think about us. We're aware of emotionally how it feels and how they might feel. And so we respond to how they might feel. And because of that, because of our socializing, what we are not willing to do is to risk the acceptance, the love, the connection, the community. So write this down. Eventual success is more important than temporary failure. Eventual success, in other words, long-term success, is way more important than this temporary failure I experience along the way. See, guys know this. Women who are risk takers, they know this. But the vast majority of women on the planet, they don't know this. They don't embrace it. It's not part of who they are, because they're so busy holding up an image, so busy trying to be perfect. They're so busy trying to please others. They're so busy taking care of others that they don't allow themselves the natural, it's the natural process in learning and mastering skill sets. And so let me ask you, bottom line, here's the big question. What are you? Are you that person that absolutely positively has to do it right, or you're not even going to try it? You're more concerned about what people think of you, and therefore it's not okay to risk or offend or do something that could be misunderstood. In other words, you're circumventing the learning cycle. Are you that person? Or are you the one that says, hey, right, this is how you learn. You got to do it, right? In other words, learning requires failure. Are you the person that says, my long-term success is more important than any temporary failure along the way, and I'm committed to do whatever it takes to learn, to grow, to fall on my face, to get up again, to go through this natural cycle? Am I willing to do that or not? Just want you to kind of have an aha moment this morning. Which are you? Now, what I'd love for you to do is tell, post what it is. And here's what I want you to post. I want you to post the truth of what's really happening in your life, and then post the truth of what you want to create. So in other words, what I want you to be able to say is, honestly, you know what? I'm pretty risk averse, and I'm committing to get over it today. Because if you're risk averse, your success as an entrepreneur is limited. Now, you can be an employee all day long, but if you're risk averse and you're not willing to learn and apply, and when you apply, recognize that 9 times out of 10, you're going to fail in the early days until you reach mastery. And then you're going to learn a new skill and do the same thing. If you're not willing to do this, then I'm going to be honest with you. Network marketing is not for you. Entrepreneurship, it's not for you. Sales, it's not for you. Recruiting, it's not for you. Because you know what, guys? These are new skill sets that have to be learned. You got to learn the what and the how. And then you got to apply, which is going to require some failure in order to achieve mastery. And the minute you've mastered one skill, then you got to go back and do another one. You guys get it? And quite honestly, it is a lifelong journey. because the market changes, the industry changes, everything continues to change. You must commit to the pattern. So what's the perfect ratio of learning and applying? 1-to-1. 1-to-1. Learn something, apply it. Learn it, use it, right? Learn it, try it. So if you're not willing to learn and then immediately share what you learn, try what you've learned, experiment with what you've learned, make an attempt at what you've learned. If you're not willing to use this perfect ratio, learn it, apply it, then again, I have to tell you, this is going to be a struggle for you. You will be disappointed in your results, not because you can't do it, but because you're not allowing yourself to learn, really master this profession, this industry. So where does mindset training come into all that we've talked about today? It's really easy, okay? If you are willing, if you are risk tolerant and you're willing to learn it and try it, then you've already got the mindset required for success. However, this is not something that necessarily comes natural to us as human beings, and definitely not natural to us as women. And so when you learn it and then you resist trying it because you're afraid, and we use excuses and we sabotage and we avoid and all that, it's really fear. But if you learn it and you don't apply it, then mindset training is your only option. Get it? It's your only option, because otherwise you're going to learn, never apply. You'll be disappointed and your business goes nowhere. But that's the answer. That's why mindset training is so critical, because what happens, mindset training closes the gap. Mindset training gives you the power. Mindset training elevates, it eases the failure, and it supports you, gives you courage, gives you confidence, elevates your identity. In other words, it's giving you everything you need so that you can learn and apply. Learn and apply. You guys got it. So what happens to so many people in our industry is they sign up for training and they go get lots and lots of skill set training. And skill set training I'm defining as learning the what to do and the how to do it. And as long as you are applying everything you're learning along the journey, and you are risk tolerant and you're allowing yourself to fail your way to success, bravo, go get more skill set training. The second you find yourself learning and avoiding applying it, that's the moment you must insert mindset coaching, because that's the moment that you're sabotaging your success. And mindset coaching will fill the gap. Mindset coaching will help you, give you the tools and the understanding of what's going on in your mind and why you are avoiding, and how to have the courage to not avoid, how to accept and embrace failure. All of the things you need in order to apply, you can get from mindset training. You guys get it? So what I always say to people is, here's the perfect. You skill set, apply it. If you don't apply it, go mindset. And then through mindset, apply it. So in many ways, when you really get good at the rhythm of this, it'll be skill set, mindset, application. Skill set, mindset, application. You guys get it? And so you will just continually, every day, be using the tools you get in mindset training to apply what you're learning and get better and better and better at it. Because here's the truth. The growth cycle, the educational cycle is this. You have to learn something on a cognitive level, but you don't know it. You just have a mental framework of it. And you might be able to articulate it and train somebody else, but you're not applying it and using it in your own business. So true mastery is learn it on a cognitive level and then be able to apply it into the world. You got it. If you need mindset training, please join me in one of my mindset coaching programs. I've got memberships at every level based on where you are in your business. And I would love to be your mindset coach, because here's what I know. You have the talent to go all the way to the top. You have the ability. You have the innate desire. That's why you're here. That's why you're bothering to watch. There's just something missing. skill set training? Has your company taught you what you need to do? Have they even drilled down and given you the how? Here are the steps and the strategies, the tactics, but you're still not applying it? Then the missing piece for you is mindset. Please don't let don't let your brain define you and say, oh, you're just a C in network marketing. You're average. You're below average. Don't let your mind do that to you. Don't do it. Instead, go, I know what this is. This is fear. This is doubt. This is insecurity. This is my past. This is something going on that's getting in the way of me being able to apply the skills I'm learning. And if I don't apply the skills I'm learning, this is it, guys. This is as far as you go. You guys get it? This is as far as you go. But I'm here to tell you, you haven't invested this much in your career and in your future and in your hopes and your dreams. You haven't come this far and chosen this company and bonded to these products to just come this far and stop. You are meant for more. You have a seed of greatness in you. Let me support you in the journey of finding the mindset tools that will close the gap and allow you to apply all that you're learning to get where it is you want to go. If you have dreams that you're not living, I promise you it's mindset that's in the way. I want to be your mindset coach. I hope you will allow me to help you live the perfect learning ratio. Learn it, apply it. If that's not happening, let me support you in that journey. You guys got it? Because here's what I know. You have what it takes to be successful. We just got to free it up in the world and allow you to embrace risk. Allow you to really understand that your long-term success is way more important than a short-term disappointment or failure. I'm Deb Erickson. I hope you enjoyed this live Ask Deb. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for joining us, guys. Bye-bye.